Hello everybody, I'm Ian Abernethy, and in this video we're going to look at a practical karate combination and 3 ways in which to drill it. Obviously we have different kinds of combinations depending on what we're training for. So if we're talking about fighting or consensual violence, when you and another person agree to fight and you agree what a win is and you agree how you're going to fight, we obviously have combinations for that too. So fighting combinations, guard up, at a distance, that kind of stuff. This combination is more non-consensual violence on the self-defense based stuff, which is about not letting the enemy have a turn, all one-way traffic, explosive violence to cause disorientation, confusion, and to successfully facilitate escape. So that's what we're looking at. So let's look at the first way in which we drill this specific combination. So the very first thing we did was we drilled the combination in line work, in Kion, which we're not going to show here. What we then did is we drilled it with a partner, which we are going to show here. Now the great thing about the partner is that you're actually doing it to a real human body. That's obviously great because we can accurately visualize where we're hitting. We've got the realistic placement, all very good. The big disadvantage, of course, is that we're not hitting with full power. All right. Now, obviously, this is a drill that we're looking at. We're doing a specific combination to help illustrate specific ideas. This isn't a live practice, of course. Okay, we want to drill a specific combination. We do have live drills for obviously consensual violence. We also have live drills for non-consensual violence. This isn't it. This is a combination for illustrations of concept. Now, because we are dealing with non-consensual violence, close range, very explosive, very chaotic, very messy, you'll notice the first thing on the palm heels is the hand is touching the partner. Now, the reason we do this, we use the active hand in that way, is because it allows us to locate where the enemy's head is in the chaos of conflict. Very important, for self-defense. It's nothing like a consensual fight where there's it's a bit more cerebral and there's a bit more room, and generally the rate of fire is lower. It's explosive, chaotic, and a very high rate of fire. So rather than having the hand in a kind of inactive guard, we always try and make the hands active at close range. So you can see it locating for the palm heels and, of course, locating for the elbows as well that follow that. We then flow into a grip. We put a knee into the groin. Natural response to be knee in the groin, whether it hits or whether it doesn't hit. If it doesn't hit because they've tilted the hips back to defend themselves, they will have leant. If they get hit, they then move away from the pain, in which case they lean. We then exploit the lean by pulling the enemy forwards and down. Quickly then we give them, straight to the head, because that's the nearest target we've got, which causes disorientation, which is key if you're going to escape effectively. We then stamp on the legs, okay, which again is key because then the enemy is unable to stand, and if he can stand, he's not going to be the quickest on his feet that he's been. So there's some of the principles we illustrate in this concept while we do it with a partner. So we'll now go to the dojo and I'll show you that bit of footage of drilling the combination with a partner. So the general, I've got the hand on the head, so during the course of 5 minutes I know where his head is there. So from there we'll do 2 palm heels, 2 elbows, just like we did the basics before, right? So I'll get palm heel, elbow down. So I'm blitzing. This is what's likely to happen, right? Arms are going to come up, he's going to come. As he does that, bring this hand to the side of the head, knee towards the groin. Obviously, don't knee the groin, but your partner's going to fake it a little bit so he comes forwards a little bit. When he's done that, I just want to pull him forward. And when he's there, hammer fist, stamp, and move. Right, so the hammer fist helps him down and stamp on his legs, means if you just get up once to chase, you can't. And clear the limbs from there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Knee, strike the groin, pulling forwards, hammer fist, stamp, move. Is everyone right with that one? And then we'll take that on to the pads in a minute in a variety of ways. Right, give it a partner, just practice that so we understand what we're doing before we start hitting the hands. So the next thing we did was we did it as a solo pad drill. The main reason we did that in the dojo was just to mix it up a little bit for the students. So they've been drilling it with the partner for a little while. We go to do the same combination but as a solo pad drill, and it feels like something fresh and new, and it avoids the boredom of repetition. It's repetition by stealth, as one of my teachers says. So that's the main reason we did it here. The other reason is it just gives the students a way in which they can practice it on their own on the days where it's late at night, early in the morning, they haven't got a training partner. All they need is a pad, a little bit of space, and they can do this drill. It's obviously not a perfect way to train because the variables in distancing are taken away from you because you're hitting the pad and it's under your control. It's also you haven't got a real body to pull or push on, so it's not ideal there, but it's better than doing nothing. Generally, I'm not that keen on solo pad drills, but this one can kind of work because the hand that we're hitting is the hand that we would be using to set the data, the hand that we're using to tell us where the enemy is through proprioception. So, it kind of works, as you'll see. So, just to give the students a little bit of break from drilling it with a partner, also to give them a way of practicing the combination when they're on their own. Also, again, it helps them a little bit because they've got to visualize the enemy a little bit more. And again, that's important when we're doing solo training too, you see. And the fact that they've just done it with a partner before we did the solo version will certainly help with that because they've got a fresh image in their mind to help them to practice the solo drill. So we'll now have a look at the solo pad drill version of this combination. So we're using that lead hand to find out where his head is, right, as we do the first couple of shots. We're using them arms to pull him down as we do the knee. We're using that hand to locate the target, and then we move it out of the way as we do that final hand fist. So during that other hand is playing a big role, right? So it's not ideal, but it's a way you can practice it, is you can just put your pad on one hand and hit your own pad. So I'll just write a little go, it's the same idea. Pull it down to the knee, move to the side. You have to turn the hand upside down, so obviously you're not hitting the wrong part of it. Finish. Okay? Put the stamp in as well, but obviously we're not going to stamp on our own hands, right? So again from there, forward knee, turn to the side. Is that okay? So it's just a solo version of it. But again, you see, it would make no sense if you hadn't done the partner version first. You're just randomly doing stuff. But now you've got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, knee, step off the side, snap, move. Is that okay? We'll go back to partner work in a minute, but give it a go on your own, okay? Just put it on your non-dominant hand, alright? So that's all very straightforward, right? And the final way in which we drilled it is back with the partner again, but now we're doing it on the pads. This has the advantages, obviously, we're hitting with impact. It has the advantage of there's a real human body there. One of the disadvantages, of course, is the placement of the pads is not totally representative of the location on the actual body. The partner has to hold the pads away from the head. It's one of the things that, it concerns me, and I've heard a lot recently. People have said, you shouldn't hold the pads away from the target, you should hold it close to the target. I've heard few people say these kind of things recently. And as soon as they say it, all I know is they can't hit very hard, and none of their students can hit very hard either. If I was to do that with any of my training partners, if I was to ask my students to do any of that, people would be getting knocked spark out, right? If you hold against the body, they'd be getting ribs broken. You need, for safety, if you've got decent levels of impact, and I would hope you have, you need to hold the pad away from the partner. Safety is introduced. The disadvantage, of course, now is that we lose the accurate placement of it now, which is why it's important to drill it in lots of different ways, because all these ways have advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so we'll now look at doing the same combination, but this time with a partner and on the pads. As Tim's doing now, he's going to double brace the pads well away from his head, so there's a good gap there, right? Because we don't want to smash into his face. I'm going to put my hand on the side of the pad, so it's similar to the idea that I'm just touching it as I was doing before. Tim will brace it very firmly, but he'll move a little bit as I do it, so I get the idea that I'm chasing him back that little bit. And just as we did then, you ready? Yeah, so from there, that's it. Then sit again, one step ahead already, right? He's moving it down, and then swap the fake head for the real head. Again, see there's a good gap between that and his face, right? Knee towards the pad, pull it forward. I would be here now, let go and give Tim a second to put that pad in position. Is that okay? So, then from there, gentle on the last one, right? Gentle on the last one. Is that okay? So give that a go with your partner, and then we'll drill it in 3 different ways, okay? So I hope you find that of some interest. So the fundamental idea is we're working a combination to give an illustration of concepts and ideas, right? These are concepts and ideas that we'll explore in lots of different ways. We'll take them into scenario-based drills, live drills. We'll do other combinations to illustrate the same principles and concepts and ideas. As always, with any given training method, you should always be looking at it within the training matrix, because every form of training has some faults with it. By definition, only real is real. So we're looking at saying, okay, what are those faults there, and how can I kind of use other drills to correct the faults that are present in this drill? And of course, the other drill will have its own faults, And you can check out the videos we've done on the training matrix to explore that concept further. So we did it as Keon originally. That was nice just to get a feel, learn the movements of it. it, you know, no pressure, no partner, just, you know, learn the general mechanics of it. We then drilled it with a partner, which was the first one we showed on this video. That has the advantages of, you know, you're actually doing it with a partner. You can visualize doing it, you know, with more force, but you're having to control the strikes. That's a disadvantage. We then do a solo drill. The advantage of that is you don't need a training partner. You can pretty much do it anywhere. The disadvantages are that the variables of distancing are no longer there and you haven't got a real body to move. With visualization practice, you know, which we have present in the kata practice too, that can really strengthen the training there, and it's a chance to practice that. And the final one is we're taking on the pads and the partner. So we've got the advantage of a real human body and we've got the advantage of actual impact. But for safety, the partner has to move the pads a little bit away from the real target, which therefore means the distancing is slightly off. You know, but done all together with all the other forms of training we do in addition to these, then you've got a fairly kind of holistic, fairly complete training matrix. So I hope you found this of some use. I hope there was something in there that you found interesting. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video, and I'll be back with more soon.